My name is Tina. I'm 34 years old. I've been married for 3 years to my husband, John, who is 2 years older than me. We don't have children yet, but we have a good relationship. So good that people often envy us. However, one day, our seemingly perfect marriage began to crumble. Congratulations on your baby, Yasmin. Thank you, Tina. Yasmin is my friend. We've been best friends since high school. She just had her first child. So John and I went to visit her at the hospital. Having a baby is harder than I thought. But as soon as I saw my baby's face, all the hardship just vanished. Yasmin shared. The newborn was incredibly cute. John even squinted his eyes as if he was looking at his own child. Oh, so adorable. The eyes are just like yours. Thank you. But the nose and lips are just like his. It seems like the baby inherited half of each of our traits. Yasmin has been dating a guy for about a year. And the baby is his. However, due to some circumstances, she had the baby out of wedlock. I haven't met him, but from what Yasmin says, he's a very kind man. By the way, has your boyfriend come yet? I don't see him around. Yeah, he got caught up in some unavoidable work and couldn't make it today. That's too bad. He must have wanted to see his newborn baby. Actually, we had talked about him being present at the birth, but things didn't work out. But it's okay. I sent him a photo earlier, and he'll come first thing tomorrow morning. That's good to hear. I hope he's looking forward to meeting Yasmin and the baby as much as we are. I hope so. Of course, he is. It's his first child, he must be thrilled. Right, Tina? Yeah. Man, I wish we could have kids soon too. I've struggled to conceive. And despite being married for 3 years, I've never been pregnant. So, John's words hurt me. Yasmin, sensing the mood, quickly changed the subject. Hey, Tina. Would you help me think of a name for the baby? I haven't decided on a name yet. My boyfriend and I have some options, but we can't settle on one. But shouldn't you and your boyfriend decide together? He might not like it if we choose without him. And somehow, we ended up deciding on the name for Yasmin's child. John was unexpectedly thrilled. We get to name the baby? That's great, Tina, let's think of a name together. Why are you so excited? Well, of course I am. It's a huge responsibility to name your best friend's child. We're like the baby's godparents. Of course, I'm excited. I see. It's a girl, so we need a cute name. What do you think, Tina? While John was overjoyed and Yasmin smiled at his enthusiasm, I just couldn't bring myself to think about the baby's name. Because I knew something. I knew these two had an unusual relationship. I found out about it a year ago. Are you gonna be late again today? Yeah, got some work stuff, have to accompany my boss. Sorry it's every day, but I'd appreciate your understanding. I don't mind, but aren't you pushing yourself too hard? I'm fine. My best quality is my strong body. For my beloved wife, this amount of work is nothing. If you say so, but still. I'm glad you understand. I'll be going then. Okay. My husband, John, never used to work overtime. But a few months ago, he started coming home late almost every day. Suspicious, I talked to a friend who's a detective. We decided to investigate John's activities. And the result. No way! Why Yasmin? I got photos from my friend, showing John and my best friend Yasmin, arm in arm, coming out of a hotel. It seems they've been involved since around the time John started coming home late. But I didn't confront either of them about it. I was waiting for the perfect moment to do so. What about Maria? Cute, but isn't it too easy? Maybe Mary then? What about Amy? They were leisurely thinking of names, unaware of what I knew. Can I make a suggestion? Of course. Why wouldn't you? Found a good name? How about Sally? Sally. That's cute. Look, she even seems to like it, smiling right after birth. Babies' smiles are so healing. John really adored Yasmin's baby. He lifted the smiling baby and affectionately nuzzled her cheek. But my next words would freeze his smile in an instant. Right, she looks a lot like you, so cute. Huh? What did you just say? She does look like you. Not just the nose and lips, but also things like nails and ear shape. What are you saying? It's impossible for her child to look like me. Why? Isn't she your child too? Kids resemble their parents. Parents might lie, but kids can't. Genetics don't lie. She really got half of each parent's traits. Wait, Tina. What are you saying? Yeah, what's gotten into you? You're acting weird. Weird? You two are the weird ones. You thought I didn't know? About your affair, about this child being my husband's? I brought John here today to talk about it. What? Both were pale, frozen. Their eyes darted around, clearly in shock. An affair? I would never do such a thing. Especially not with Tina's best friend. Yeah. You're just misunderstanding because I didn't introduce my boyfriend to you. John and I have nothing to do with each other. You really expect me to believe that? It's not. Then John snapped at me. Enough. What proof do you have? You're just saying this because I've been working late? If you had a problem, you should have said so. How could you say such things in front of her, just after she had a baby? Giving birth is life-threatening. You wouldn't understand, having never had a child. If she gets sick because of your words, what then? Hey, that's too much. Too much? No. She's just jealous because she can't have kids, so she's being mean. John had always been by my side, understanding that I couldn't have children. Tina, I didn't marry you because I wanted kids. I wanted to spend my life with you. Sure, having kids might be fun, but our life as a couple seems just as enjoyable. He used to say that to me. But then, it's just crazy. Accusing us without any proof or evidence. Those kind words of his didn't seem to come from his heart. Seeing his attitude, I felt the last bit of love I had for him vanish in an instant. In fact, I'm grateful for his behavior. It gave me the push I needed, as I couldn't bring myself to confront him with these papers. What? A divorce paper, Tina? There's no way there's no evidence. I've had everything investigated already. I hired a detective I trust. If you two say you're not in a relationship, then how do you explain these photos? This is... Two people who have nothing going on don't come out of a hotel arm in arm almost every day. It's not like that. There's a reason for this. A reason? What reason could there be for going to a hotel with your best friend's husband? Well, I admit we went to the hotel and yes, we ended up getting involved a few times. I apologize for that. But there's no proof that this child is mine. We'll find out with a DNA test. And look at this photo. I heard about Yasmin's pregnancy last December. Then why were you and Yasmin at the hospital together last June? Isn't it because she was pregnant with your child? That's... The boyfriend couldn't come because of work, so she asked her husband to. Asking a best friend's husband to accompany her to the maternity clinic? That's unusual. Well, one more thing, just to be sure. What's her boyfriend's blood type? I think it's a... B. It's B, right? You said he was type B, Yasmin. Maybe it was. I'm not sure. Why did you immediately say it's B? And how do you know Yasmin's boyfriend's blood type? It's because... I had a question about it before, so... No, it's because the child's blood type is B, right? The band on the baby's foot says B, Yasmin is O. If, as Yasmin first said, her boyfriend is A, then a B-type child couldn't be born. You said B because that's your blood type, John. The child is yours. Let's stop this. Tina already knows everything. But. Sorry, Tina. I never intended for it to come to this, but yes, I did have an affair with him. And this child is definitely his. I'm truly sorry. I thought you were my best friend. Why with my husband? Yasmin then reluctantly shared the truth. It started when Tina invited me to her new house. He was so kind to both Tina and me, I was drawn to him. I knew I shouldn't feel this way about my best friend's husband, but my boyfriend at the time treated me terribly. I fantasized about a happy life if I married him. Nothing happened that day, but months later, I ran into him after work and couldn't help asking him to dinner. From her story, it seemed that's when their relationship began. Please understand I never intended to steal him from Tina. I just wanted to experience happiness, even for a short while. But then I found out I was pregnant with his child. At first, I was in a panic, pregnant with my best friend's husband's child. When I told him about the pregnancy, he was so happy. So we decided to raise the child in secret, with his support, pretending it was my imaginary boyfriend's. Look, Tina. It couldn't be helped. I do feel sorry, but I was so happy when she told me about the pregnancy. I told Tina that life without kids might be okay, but I wanted my own child. I couldn't tell her to abort it. Understand my feelings. I'm not asking you to forgive her. Just understand. Understand? What are you saying? You think an apology will fix everything? It's not like that. You say it couldn't be helped, but in the end, you both betrayed me. I have no intention of forgiving either of you. Tina. Yasmin, we've been friends since high school. You've always listened to me through all the ups and downs of our friendship. I have a lot to be thankful for when it comes to you. I loved you, and I thought we could be best friends forever, even into old age. But our friendship ends today. We won't meet or talk ever again. Tina. Everything else will be handled through a lawyer, so be prepared. Wait a minute, Tina. We haven't had a proper discussion yet. Let's talk, just the three of us, without involving a lawyer. I'm sure we can come up with something. Even if we talk, my mind won't change. Sign that divorce paper and take it to the office. I have no intention of continuing this marriage with you. I'm going back to my parents' home. No. I don't want to divorce you, Tina. I want to be together. Don't follow me. Go be with the people you love, now that the child is born. Goodbye. Hey! Tina! With that, I shook off my husband John's hand as he tried to follow me and left the hospital. I remember my hands were trembling so much at that moment. But my heart felt incredibly clear. I had finally done it. I felt a sense of accomplishment. Then I went home, packed my things, and headed to my parents' house. During that time, John's calls and messages were non-stop. Tina, I'm sorry I kept silent. Let's talk again. Have you really gone back to your parents? I'm heading home now. Should I pick up a cake on the way? Please answer me. Did he really think a cake would make everything okay? I didn't reply to his message, and several days passed. Finally, I contacted John. Hello, it's me. Tina? Have you decided to talk? Maybe. Thank you. I knew you'd understand. So, shall we meet at our place then? No, I'm not coming back there. Huh? You mean we're not going to talk at our home? Of course not. There's nothing left to talk about, just the two of us. Then what do you mean by talk? Just come to my parents' house right now, and you'll understand. Hey! Tina! An hour after that call, John arrived at my parents' house in a suit, carrying a gift. Welcome, everyone's waiting, so come on up. Everyone? What do you mean? Just hurry. And what John saw in the living room was... What? Dad? Mom? Why are you here? Why wouldn't we be here, you fool? Do you even understand what you've done? I invited both of you to my parents' house. You kept insisting on having a discussion. But why? John, we've heard everything from our daughter. So, you had a child with Yasmin, Tina's best friend? Since you're so eager to discuss, let's start the conversation you've been wanting to have. So, a discussion began with 6 of us, including both our parents. Have you signed the divorce papers I gave you? No, I haven't. I haven't even signed on to them. Why not? I told you to do it. That's because I don't intend to divorce. Don't decide everything on your own. I want to rebuild our marriage. You can't just push a completed divorce paper at me without discussing. It's utterly unfair. I don't know what you're misunderstanding, but whether to rebuild or divorce is not up to you, who cheated and fathered a child with my best friend, but up to me, the one who was betrayed. I have no intention of rebuilding with someone who did such a thing. Expecting me to live with you as if nothing happened? That's such a mean way to put it. I cheated just this once. Can't you forgive a single mistake? Won't you even give me a chance to discuss? Then, my usually silent father turned to John and said, "You sure speak lightly about things. If you rebuild with our daughter, what will you do about Yasmin's child? Don't tell me you plan to just let her handle it alone." That's not it. I intend to pay child support. We agreed to have the child, and she said she'd raise it alone. So, I plan to support her and rebuild with Tina. You're an idiot. I never thought my son would be such a fool and a scoundrel. What? How dare you call me an idiot? Tina's parents are right, you're thinking too simply about this. Raising a child is hard enough with both parents, let alone a single mother. Even if she said she'd do it alone, you believe that? Are you sane? Also, I hate to break it to you, but we don't intend to let our daughter continue a marriage with a man who has a child with another woman. You think it's none of her business because you'll pay child support out of your own pocket, but that's a huge mistake. As long as you keep paying child support, your relationship with that woman continues. We can't let our daughter endure such a torturous life. We didn't marry our daughter off to you to see her suffer. We agreed to your marriage because we wanted you two to have a happy life together. And now, just 3 years into the marriage, betrayed by a high school friend. Do you even understand how our daughter feels? Our parents and in-laws, all furious, something I'd never seen before. I wondered if their words were getting through to my husband. I waited for his response. And then, "It wasn't like that." What? If you have something to say, speak clearly. I wasn't serious. Yasmin approached me after work, and I just went along with it. It's her fault for approaching a married man. It turned into this because of alcohol. Are you serious? You were so happy seeing the child. You said I wouldn't understand the hardships of childbirth since I don't have a child. You defended Yasmin so strongly against me, and now you're blaming her when everyone's against you? It's not like that. I'm just explaining how it started. Yes, I was happy when the child was born, but I wasn't serious. It just happened. It's her fault. She got pregnant on her own even though Tina couldn't have a child. That's when it happened. Despite his betrayal, his appalling remarks about his best friend led me to slap him hard. What are you doing? John staggered back, holding his cheek. But no one moved to help him. You got what you deserved. I'm ashamed to say you're my son. I never raised a son who could say such disgusting things so easily. I didn't do anything that bad, did I? It takes 2 to make a child. It's wrong to blame only me. Yes, you're right. It's not fair to blame only you. Both of you are responsible. Right? That's what I'm saying. Yasmin has already taken responsibility for me. She agreed never to contact me again and accepted all the terms sent by the lawyer. So, since you did the same thing as Yasmin, why don't you take responsibility for your actions too? Responsibility! What I expect from you is 2 things: divorce, and, just like Yasmin, to never appear before me again. Such demands! But how disgraceful! You said it yourself, didn't you? That the responsibility lies with both of you. Tina, I am truly sorry. We will ensure that John adheres to your conditions. It's our responsibility that our son turned out this way. Don't worry, Tina. We'll make sure he never bothers you again. We are truly sorry. Thank you. And so, John promised to pay me damages. We settled the property division and, albeit reluctantly, he signed the divorce papers. I was the one who delivered the completed divorce papers to the office. I couldn't risk them not being submitted. Thus, we said goodbye to our 3-year marriage and became strangers. A few days later, at my parents' house where I was staying, I received a letter. A letter in this day and age? Who could it be from? To my surprise, the sender was Yasmin. After that incident, I had blocked both Yasmin and my ex-husband's phone numbers and WhatsApp accounts. Out of precaution, I even changed my phone number, so the only way for her to contact me was to send a letter to my parents' house. Opening the cute pink envelope, I found several pages of a letter inside. Tina, I'm really sorry for everything that happened. You said you never wanted to contact me again, but I just had to apologize properly, so I sent this letter. I know it's a bother, but I'd be happy if you read it. That day, when I realized you knew everything, my heart almost stopped. I knew you were struggling with pregnancy and childbirth, and yet, I confronted you with the worst timing possible. The name Sally that you suggested for the child, I'm so sorry for suggesting such a cruel thing. I can't forget the sad look on your face that day. I regret speaking to him that time, and I still regret it. I don't ask for your forgiveness, no, I can't ask for it. But maybe one day, far in the future, we can be friends again like we used to be. I know it's selfish, but that's how I feel right now. From your former best friend, Yasmin. Yasmin's letter was full of apologies and regret. At first glance, it seemed she was considering my feelings, but the words reeked of her not wanting to be the bad guy. Wanting to relieve her own guilt. Typical, only thinking about herself. If she really thought of me, none of this would have happened. Such a letter. I tore up the letter she sent and threw it in the trash. By not responding, I guess Yasmin understood my feelings. After that, I never received another letter from Yasmin or my ex-husband. I suppose the words from our parents had an impact. Has he tried to contact you since then? If anything happens, let your dad know immediately. It's okay, thank you. I haven't had any contact with him since then. I can't even if I wanted to. He probably doesn't have the courage to send a letter to my parents' house like Yasmin did. As long as you're okay. I haven't been in touch with his parents since the divorce, and I don't know what happened to them. It's not my concern. I'm just moving on with my life. I don't have time to worry about people from the past. That's right. Your parents are always on your side. Thank you. Months later, I heard through the grapevine that my ex-husband remarried Yasmin and they chose to raise the child together. But, 3 months later, a classmate from the high school that Yasmin and I attended contacted me. Yasmin and he got a speedy divorce, you know. Really? They got married only 3 months ago, and now they're divorced? It seems so. Apparently, Yasmin changed drastically after the marriage. Changed? They said Yasmin's married life was nothing like she had imagined. Her parents were furious about her having a child with a married man and seemingly disowned her. She spent most of her days alone with the child. Being an introvert and shy, she couldn't make friends with other moms and was isolated. Her husband was busy with work and often away from home. She vented all her stress on him. He tried to make it work, but he couldn't tolerate Yasmin's attitude anymore and eventually exploded, leading to a divorce. What about the child? Yasmin takes care of the child, but with the situation as it is, who knows what will happen next. But Tina, that's not your concern. The child is innocent, but those two hurt you, so it's their own doing. That's true. They got a speedy divorce just 3 months after getting married. Yasmin ended up raising the child alone, and it seems my ex-husband lost everything except his job. There might be couples who, like them, have marriages born out of affairs and live happily. But that's not always the case. I don't know the details, but the two who betrayed me are probably living a future very different from what they had imagined.